Well, you can see the numbers right here on the graph in front of you. This just came out the other day. Apparently, this is a trend across the Western world, essentially, and even parts of Asia, apparently. The growing right wing, left wing divide between men and women. Increasing amounts of men across different age groups are politically identifying with increasingly right wing stances and arguments, while the women, on the other hand, are going further into the left wing. People are probably doing all kinds of research and pontificating about the reasons why. And I think it's kind of fairly base, and there's some simple reasons behind it. We're going to get into some of this. Basically, the long story short of it, because women have the right to vote, they have essentially been engaging in political warfare against the men. You can see this political warfare in situations that are kind of obvious, like the majority of women in America want President Trump in jail. The majority of men in America actually like President Trump.
You've talked about using some of Trump's money that you're about to get to help shore up women's rights. Do you know what that might be, what that might look like?
Yes, Rachel. Yes.
Tell me.
I had such great ideas for all the good I'm going to do with this money. First thing, Rachel, you and I are going to go shopping. We're going to get completely new wardrobes, new shoes, motorcycle for Crowley, new fishing rod for Robbie. Rachel, what do you want? Penthouse? It's yours,
Nothing.
Rachel. Penthouse and France? You want France? You want to go fishing in France? No? Oh, all right, okay.
That's a joke.
Although if me fishing in France could do something for women's rights, I would take the hit. You know, I would obviously take one for the team. All right, let me as if you need persuasion in that regard.
This political warfare also extends to things like child rearing, who raises the children and how the children actually get raised. And men are finding ourselves in a position where if we are not willing to actually engage women in political quote unquote warfare, we will find ourselves pushed into not only a losing position politically, but a losing position socially as well. Because with things like Me Too and different hiring positions and whatnot, men are finding themselves on the short end of the stick. And so these numbers are honestly very simple to explain. The hard part, the complicated question is, what's going to be done about these numbers?
Liberal white women complain that it's too dangerous to walk alone at night, and then they sign petitions to release violent criminals out of prison.
Simply, we are a council of women who just don't know any better.
It's like, listen, we don't have time for political correctness. We don't have
It's not
time
about
to
being politically correct. Personal, too. They're not saying you've got a
There's
shit
so
idea.
many women you don't realize who really wants the
With
best
some
for
of your
men.
views, again, you might alienate a lot of people who would otherwise.
And I simply don't understand this. Oh, let's sort of push women to maybe the corner in some capacity. Is that not problematic? I do know many of your views on women, which I find abhorrent. I'm going to be honest. I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
You don't make enough to provide for us anymore, so we have to get out there in the workforce.
Right, because you voted for laws that give the jobs to you instead of to us. You know that, right? You have to know about this, right? Women have been saying for decades, they've been saying, we get 77 cents on the... Women want to get paid equal. They don't want to work equal. They just want to get paid equal. So they went to the government and they voted for the government to make things equal. And now that things are equal, women have raised their standards and they're saying, men can't provide anymore. You voted for that. You know that, right? The government takes money from men and gives it to corporations if they meet diversity quotas. So we are being forced to pay to put ourselves out of work so you can be equal. Men and women don't put the same amount of effort into the workplace, and so they get different rewards out of it, but women wanted to make it equal. When men made more, women could find men who made more. But now women are making more, and they can't find men who make more. But it's not because you're running faster than us, it's because you voted to redistribute the trophies. So my money goes to the government, and the government gives that money to corporations, and then when I apply for a job, the corporation says, you may not have that job. We need more women to satisfy our government free money requirements. So you want men to pay, but you voted to take away our ability to do that. You can only have two of these. You can have equal pay by law, men take care of you, and the eligible men are loyal. If all of you are going after a few guys, then the eligible guys are going to have access to lots of women. So if you want equal pay by law and men to pay for everything, all of you are going to be going after just this section. So if you stopped voting for money to go like that, then we would still have more money to be able to spend on you. This situation is like a dog that wants you to throw a ball, but it won't drop it. We want men to pay. Okay, let me go get a job. No, you can't have that. That's for women. We need equality. Okay, then go date the men who have more money. Where have all the good men gone? I mean, you have to know about this, right? Everyone knows this, right? Please tell me that you knew this.
I think people underestimate to what extent privileged, especially white women, are willing to sacrifice their children for the altar of status.
Rather have a child with a man who's financially stable but won't be in the child's life, or with a broke man who will be present in the child's life.
Am I getting child support? I take the financially stable. They're financially. Child support, financially stable.
Give me the one that's not in the child's life. We good, we got the money, we good.
We can pay the bills and help take care of them. They don't gotta be there.
For them, having a trans kid is like winning the lottery, right? And you laugh, but it's really the case. It's very disturbing. They're the only ones bringing their kids to drag shows, because for these affluent white female liberals offals, a man in makeup is like the second coming. And, you know, they're showing dad or their husband or whoever how enlightened they are, because this is what corporate media tells them. So they can't wait to bring their kids and show how the program they are. So they are a menace. And this, in my opinion, is Munchausen's by proxy. You know, they're torturing their kids for the sake of status and accolades.